You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Doug Geed, and here we go again. Another weekend and more potential snow. Meteorologist Jeff Bance, I saw the look on your face before we walked in the studio, and I could tell this is not going to be good.
No, and then, of course, you were peeking over at the snow maps, and I heard you let out a sigh, and yeah, kind of hard to. I mean, this has been the winter of comeuppance, I have called it. We did not have much snow the last few years, and we're getting that and then some so far this season. Our weather headlines are as follows. Skies clearing tonight. We'll have a nice day before the storm tomorrow. So any storm prep that you may have, we're finally getting to see the ground. The grass has been coming back. It is all going to get covered up again. So if you do have anything that you need to clean up around the yard, by all means, tomorrow is your day. It's a nice day. And then that impactful winter storm. Hard to believe that we're in a drought here on Long Island. Believe it or not, this is the newest drought monitor that was issued yesterday. Western Long Island is now into a moderate drought, a minor drought for eastern Long Island. But take a look to our west of New Jersey, actually in a severe drought situation not too far away. We don't get as much moisture with this snow, not to mention the ground can't soak it up when it remains in a frozen snowpack like it has over the last close to a month here. So, yeah, it's been abnormally dry, and we've been up until this week where we had some light rain, very dry to start February. 30 or so inches of snow for Islip MacArthur. That's 8.2 inches above average. So, yeah, it seems like it's been a more active winter than it actually has been, but it's been a pretty average winter on the above side of that, and about to get even more above side that. Not from this, though. This was New England's problem today. We had just a chilly rain. Temperatures have been in the 30s all day. I've always said I dislike cold rain. Might as well snow at this point. Well, I'm going to get my wish, right? Still a little drizzly out there if you have any Friday evening plans here. Taking a look, though, at that planner, skies will clear out. We'll see some patchy fog through things during the overnight, and then we'll get some sun tomorrow. Again, it's going to be a pretty nice day. But a winter storm watch for Long Island. Blizzard conditions are possible with this. What does that mean? We hear people say whiteout conditions, blowing snow, limiting the visibility. This storm is a nor'easter. It's going to have a wind component. So we're probably going to have a good chance to get 35 or greater mile-per-hour sustained winds here, and that will drop the visibility to around a quarter or less of a mile. And that sustained for 3 hours or more gives you your blizzard. Hey, check this out. The last time we had a blizzard warning on Long Island, just 1,483 days ago. Trust me, I wasn't quick to do the math with this one either. It was just a little over 4 years ago. Decent chance that we do see a blizzard warning at some point with this storm. Let's take a look at your headlines here. Flurries beginning on Sunday morning. It ramps up during the day. As we go throughout the afternoon, that snow will intensify. It'll start to turn breezy, and then things really get cranking overnight here into Monday. That's when the storm is going to be at its worst. Expect plowable snow. Expect wind-driven snow, and again, that low or zero visibility, making travel just about impossible, if not incredibly hazardous here. Definitely think twice about it unless you have to go out and brave the elements here. Spotty power outages with the wind component. We're worried about that. There could even be some minor coastal flooding as well, although the astronomical tides were not coinciding with a new moon or full moon, so I'm not incredibly worried about that, but we'll just throw that possibility out there, especially if you live in a low-lying area, something to keep in mind during the high tides of Sunday night and Monday morning. Could see some flurries late in the day tomorrow. A little wave of energy dives over New England here. Maybe the east end gets a little appetizer, if you will. Why has this storm materialized so quickly in the last 24 hours? It's an atmospheric road jam here. Here's our two pieces of our storm coming together. This will be our nor'easter. We've got high pressure up over the Canadian Maritimes, and we've got a stubborn low that is just spinning over the North Atlantic, and nothing wants to go anywhere. So what does that do? That storm is forced to pretty much sit over us as it strengthens. So here's what it looks like on Futurecast. Again, light snow during Sunday morning. Things will pick up through the afternoon. The darker the blues here, the heavier your snow bands. This is some real heavy snow sitting down just south of Long Island, and eventually those bands are going to start moving up from the south as we enter the overnight. This is incredibly heavy snow here. It is really going to be coming down during the overnight hours into Monday morning. There's not going to be school if this plays out as we believe it will, and work from home is going to be a big thing on Monday as well. Hopefully we can get as many cars off the road as possible. This is likely going to well exceed, in just terms of overall impacts, the last storm that we had. Numbers may wind up being fairly similar in spots in the end, and finally you can see things tapering down on Monday afternoon. But here is our snow forecast. We're going to go with most of the island in that 10 to 14 range. We were around a foot with the last storm, but we didn't have the driving wind component as severe that time. And I would not be shocked, though, to see these numbers tick up a little bit more over the next day or so, just looking at how some of the models have been coming together here on this Friday evening. As you can see, also, if you're heading west, things will taper down pretty significantly. It'll be a pretty tight gradient with this storm, but I do expect high impacts for just about everybody. 32 degrees tonight. Watch out for some patchy fog, but at least things will be drying out here. 44 your high for tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies early on. Clouds will increase later in the day, setting the stage for our winter storm Sunday through Monday. Again, the Monday aspect is going to be really overnight when this storm is at its worst. We'll dry out on Tuesday. We'll clear out a high of 31. Fortunately, we're not looking at long-term sub-freezing temperatures over the next several days after the storm, so there will be some degree of melting, especially with rain. But we're also going to have to watch with some of these storms coming up here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here. Again, it's been a very active jet stream pattern. The West Coast has been getting it first, but it's been translating to very active East Coast as well. So I do expect this pattern to continue. Hopefully no more major snowstorms. And again, with those temperatures above freezing, we should see some of what falls Sunday and Monday begin to melt next week.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
All right, thank you, Jeff. A winter to remember. Our other top story, and it's a horrific one. It involves a former child therapist who pleaded guilty to sharing sexually explicit videos of children. She's now been sentenced to 7 years in prison. Federal prosecutors say Renee Hoberman likely traded more than 600 photos and videos of child sex abuse that they described as, quote, exceptionally violent. The 38-year-old Plainview resident was a licensed social worker caring for children at a mental health office in Melville. That was at the time of her arrest. A Long Island urologist convicted of sexually abusing patients also treated convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Information included in the Epstein files does not say why he sought treatment from Dr. Darius Paduch back in 2018. At the time, Paduch was working at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center, that's in Manhattan. The records show that Epstein got a blood test and was prescribed pills. Right now, Paduch is serving a life sentence for sexually abusing his patients. Some of the victims were minors. 11 teenagers have been arrested after police say a group of 300 to 400 youths attempted a takeover of the Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream. Police say it was sparked by social media.
Back in my days, we never did this kind of stuff. When you went to the mall, you'd be scared that something happened. You wouldn't want to go home. If you get in trouble, it's the type of discipline and the respect people have now is really absurd.
Nassau police say they saw the plans online and had officers at the mall waiting for the group. Police say some of the teens were carrying kitchen knives. One teen was also charged with stealing a pair of sneakers. Now, a similar takeover happened at a mall in the Bronx. That was on President's Day. Well, it's been a problem in communities across Long Island for years now, a shortage of volunteer firefighters. Virginia Huey tells us that Suffolk County officials are sounding the alarm over that again.
It can be the difference between life and loss.
The Sayville Fire Department is taking to the airwaves and social media with this video to boost its thinning ranks. It is one of 109 fire and EMS departments on the island stepping up recruitment efforts before the volunteer shortage becomes a public safety crisis.
We have a little bit more than 13,000 active members, which is down from where it has been. And we're concerned.
What could impact is response times. And that's what we don't want happening.
Fire officials say the key factors driving the decline in volunteers are time constraints and economic pressures.
Both family members are working a job right now. Cost of living, of course. Also, time with your family. So it's the time commitment. To encourage more people to answer the call, fire officials are highlighting the benefits of volunteering.
You get free medical services, if you are volunteer. You get tax benefits. You get college tuition reimbursements. You get service pension.
They're also calling on state lawmakers to pass legislation to give them the ability to offer some pay for calls and duty shifts.
What we'd like to do is lobby the legislature to give us the opportunity to be able to give our firefighters the option of maybe a pay per call or pay per shift, which we're not allowed to do right now.
And they're reaching out to potential young recruits on social media in an effort to keep the island's volunteer fire departments serving and saving lives.
Join, sign up, see if it's for you.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Only in Newsday, 2 wind farms being built offshore could soon affect your electric bill. The financial impact from Empire Wind and Sunrise Wind Farms is due to soaring construction costs, as well as new projections in wholesale energy prices. Newsday energy reporter Mark Harrington has been following the story.
Some of the numbers for the costs of these to customers, the bill impacts for customers, are slightly higher than what we believed or what we had been originally told in 2024. For average customers throughout the state, both the Sunrise Wind and Empire Wind will be increasing bills by about $3.54, according to the most recent state figures. When these projects were first introduced in 2019, when they told us under $1, probably something like 73 cents.
And you could read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And athletes from around the world are hoping to stamp their names into the record books at the Winter Olympics. In this week's Picture This, Macy Eglin takes us back to when Newsday captured some of the biggest moments in Olympic history.
It had been a tradition at Newsday. We had always covered the Olympics.
Over the years, Newsday has captured incredible feats and devastating losses as competitors, including many from Long Island, go for gold. Now we're digging into the archives, highlighting those memorable moments. Our director of photography, John Keating, played a big role in that coverage, documenting the 1998 Winter Olympics in Japan.
I remember during the opening ceremonies, they brought out 70 sumo wrestlers to perform a purification ritual. They also brought out one of their superstar skaters who lit the Olympic torch, and that was very symbolic for the Japanese people.
That year, many eyes were on the rink.
Tara Lipinski was not actually the favorite skater.
It was a rivalry that captivated the world as she edged out fellow American Michelle Kwan.
Tara Lipinski came out of nowhere to win the gold medal. She did a much more challenging program than Michelle Kwan did.
From figure skates to hockey skates, the U.S. women's hockey team was also making history.
It was a great time for the Americans. They had been favored to win, and the Canadians were their big rivals, and they ended up winning the gold medal and having a great victory.
4 years later, the Olympic spotlight shifted to Salt Lake City, Utah, and Long Island found itself at the center of it.
Sarah Hughes was not one of the favorites going in. She was in 4th place.
But the 16-year-old Great Neck native shocked the crowd.
Sarah ended up winning the gold medal very unexpectedly. It's always exciting when one of the superstars at the Olympics is from Long Island.
Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglin.
And you can see more Picture This segments on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And a new spin on a beloved Long Island breakfast staple in today's Feed Me TV. Elisa DiStefano and Maria Elena Martinez show us where to customize your bacon, egg, and cheese.
You know bacon, egg, and cheese is huge on Long Island. Here's a place you can customize your own. I'm Elisa DiStefano. I hope you're hungry. Yum. So you went all over Long Island, tasting bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. So what brings us here?
Well, Hometown Bake Shop is one of the best bakeries on Long Island. And what they have in terms of bacon, egg, and cheese is this customizable DIY board where you can take one of their homemade breads and add sausage, which they also make in-house, bacon, cheese, vegetables, condiments, you name it.
Decisions. Should I just go big? I'm here. I'm going to go big. I'm going to go with the, I might regret this later, cheddar biscuit, turkey bacon, avocado, Swiss cheese,
Gotta have it.
some spinach. Moment we've been waiting for. Wow. Voila. Thank you. Thank you. This looks amazing.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. The cheese ball. Now this is a bacon, egg, and cheese. Wow. What'd you get?
7 grains, scrambled bacon, cheddar, and caramelized onions, and hometown hot sauce.
The biscuit's so good.
There's nothing like a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Nothing.
On the island right now, there are all these different creative versions of bacon, egg, and cheese. The one that I really love is at Bianca Latte. It's a full crescent. There's one in a wrap at Organic Crush. It's a little healthier, if you will. And then there's an incredible pizzette at Sparrow in Garden City.
If you want your traditional bacon, egg, and cheese, there's plenty of that to go around, but there are plenty of creative special sandwiches. All right. This is like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Holy smokes.
And you can find more places to grab bacon, egg, and cheese on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And for more on the stories you've seen today, head over to Newsday.com. Click Get More under the Newsday TV video box. I'm Doug Geed. Boy, be careful this weekend, folks. More big snow potentially Sunday into Monday. And more news is straight ahead.
Watch Newsday TV on the big screen. Use the remote to activate Siri, Alexa, Roku, or the Google Assistant on your streaming device. Say, install Newsday. Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.